Hello, you're welcome to our lecture series on soil science and ecology. Earlier in the series, we have looked at some of the physical properties of soil, such as porosination, soil texture, soil color, soil structure, and many others. And in this video, we're going to look at, in this lecture, we're going to look at soil porosity and other physical properties of soil. Now, what is porosity? Basically, porosity of a soil refers to the holes or pores that are found in a soil, as to how many pores or holes a soil has. It can also mean the ratio of the pore spaces in a soil, rock, or other material to its total volume. So those little spaces, between the particles of soil are referred to as the pore spaces of those soils. And that is what porosity means. It refers to the porosity of the soil. The porosity of the soil is expressed as a percentage of the total volume of soil material. It's expressed as the percentage of the total volume of the soil material. Pore space is that part of the bulk volume that is not occupied by either mineral or organic matter, but is open space occupied either by air or water. The pore spaces of soils are usually occupied by soil and by soil, air, or water, and those are the pore spaces. So the possession of these pores by soil parts by a given soil is what we refer to as the porosity of a soil. Ideally, the total pore space should be 50% of the soil volume. Ideally, the total pore space should be 50% of the pores, the soil volume. Now, the soil volume, like we said earlier when we looked at the composition of soil, has 50%, 45% mineral particles, and has 5% organic matter, then 25% air and 25% water. So the 25% air and 25% water makes up 50% of the total volume of the soil. So the porosity, the pore spaces make up the 50%, which is made up of 25% air and 25% water. The air space is needed to supply oxygen to organisms, decomposing organic matter, humus, and plant roots. It's necessary the pore spaces are needed to provide oxygen to organisms that are decomposing organic matter and the humus in the soil, as well as plant roots. Pore space also allows the movement and storage of water and dissolved nutrients. So the pore spaces in the soil are usually very important. There are 4 categories of pores. We have the very fine pores that are between less than 2 microns. Then we have the fine pores that are 2 to 20 microns, the medium pores of 20 to 100 microns, then coarse pores of 200 microns to 0.2 millimeters in diameter. Now, the next physical property is temperature. Now, what's temperature? Temperature basically refers to the degree of hotness or coldness of the soil, the degree of hotness or coldness of the soil. Soil temperature regulates seed germination, root growth, and availability of nutrients. It's very important. The temperature of the soil is very important in determining germination of seeds, root growth, and availability of nutrients. And it also affects the kind of organisms that can inhabit a particular soil. Some organisms are adapted to specific temperatures of the soil, particularly the benthic organisms or some organisms like the ants and termites that inhabit the soil. The color of the ground cover and its insulating ability has a strong influence on soil temperature. The color of the soil also affects the soil temperature. The next physical property of soil is resistivity. And what's resistivity? Resistivity, or the resistivity of the soil, is a measure of a soil's ability to retard the conduction of an electric current. The ability of a soil to retard the conduction of electric current is referred to as the resistivity of the soil. The electrical resistivity of the soil can affect the rate of galvanic corrosion of metallic structures in contact with the soil. High moisture content or decreased electrolyte concentration can lower resistivity and increase conductivity, thereby increasing the rate of corrosion. So when the moisture content of the soil is high, it tends to conduct more electric current, and that actually means that the resistivity of the soil is reduced. It actually means that the resistivity of the soil is reduced. So far, we have looked at all the physical properties of soil. We have looked at horizontalization, we have looked at soil texture, soil structure, soil color, we have looked at the consistency of soil, then porosity, resistivity, and others. Our next video will be on the chemical properties of soil, such as cation exchange capacity, anion exchange capacity, soil buffering capacity, and soil reaction as called pH. Please continue to watch more videos from this YouTube channel, and you'll be glad you did.